Hey everyone, it's Amanda Stevens for Chopsky.tv, and I'm here with James Jchensor Chen.
Hey, you actually said my handle. Thank you.
Yeah, I said your handle for once. I think in the other two interviews I chose not to. So you finished your commentating duty so far for Battlegrounds for the weekend. Looking back at the event, what was your experience?
It's been really fun. I really like the Red Bull events. They do such a great job putting on these events, and they really understand a lot about the fighting game community. They work with us a lot. They talk to us a lot, and they really try to, get our feedback and make sure that it feels like a fighting game event. And they go the extra mile, like the Union Station look over here and everything like that. They had like the foam booth, which you could smell the fresh paint on it. Like they literally just built it. So it was really cool. It's really cool.
Yeah. You travel a lot for the FGC, and you've been to a ton of venues. What do you think of Boston's, the castle? What do you think of this as a venue?
It's cool, actually. I didn't expect. I heard it was called the Castle. I didn't think it was going to be an actual castle. Yeah, exactly. But I just like being able to travel to all the different areas as much as possible. So this being in Boston, not only, Boston's a nice city and everything like that, except, Celtics, Lakers, I'm not going to get into that. But, obviously it's a cool city and everything like that. And the nice thing about Red Bull is, last year it was in Seattle, this year it's in Boston. I hope they continue this trend and keep moving it place to place like a traveling tour. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, especially because it's a Street Fighter event, and Street Fighter's the world tour.
Yeah.
So having it be a traveling event, I think, is really cool. I also have to say that I'm really happy that I'm starting to see the East Coast get more love, and just in general, like it always feels weird that like everything feels very central to California. Everything, even Canada Cup, is as far from the East Coast as it possibly can get. So following this trend of the world tour, what's a city that you think deserves a big event?
It's interesting because honestly, there are a lot more events in the East Coast than there are. Sadly enough, like California, I feel like we have like NCR, SCR, and that's like it now. We need more West Coast events. But East Coast, it's normally been mostly, a lot of the events are in Philadelphia, and then there's Defend the North in New York. This is in Boston. So, the New England area is covered pretty well. We have like Florida for CEO. We have Atlanta with Final Round. So, the East Coast is well covered. Midwest definitely just needs to get more love, because Midwest and Texas, to be honest, but we have a few events in Texas. But those are two areas that have been historically very, very strong in fighting games. And especially the Midwest, I don't feel like gets enough shine. In fact, even in the last chance qualifiers this weekend, the top two players were both Midwest players, so...
IDOM and 808, right?
It was Cool Kid and...
because Chicago, I guess.
Yeah, it was Cool Kid and Wolf Crone. They were in grand finals of the last chance qualifiers. So, yeah, basically they kind of count as the Midwest scene, And I feel like... we need more events out in that area to really shine out. So we have Combo Breaker, for example, but, the more the merrier, right?
So speaking of Cool Kid, how difficult was it for you to be casting all those Abigail games when, how often do you see an Abigail?
It was pretty easy because I spent the whole entire time screaming. Every time I saw him charge up, and it would hit him, and then just the damage, you just start screaming. And like, that's the cool part about it, is like, you just get hype about everything that you see, it just goes crazy, and it's
such an exaggerated character.
Yeah.
Granted, everything about Street Fighter is over the top, but Abigail, just as a character model,
yeah,
is just everything about him as a character is just the baby toss, the V trigger, like it all.
It's funny because when he was revealed at EVO,
everybody was like,
I saw this and I was like, what the heck is going on with this character? I was like, oh no, don't do this.
And Twitter,
yeah,
like, this is what we got.
But the funny thing is, since then, seeing all the cool little animations, the dancing, the finger pointing, and then just how kind of neat how he is as a character. I love Abigail now. I think he's awesome, and so
I think he has one of the worst themes in the game, though.
Yeah. But I'm just super happy to see like even at this event, there were a lot of Zekus, right?
Fang.
Yeah.
Fang saw like this weird resurgence this weekend.
Yeah, exactly. But it was really cool to see a lot of the DLC characters. We had a couple of Colleens here. We had Nephew and Neon do really well, and now we had Cool Kid doing amazingly well with Abigail. It's just cool to see the DLC characters really getting fleshed out and really being used to their maximum potential.
Do you think part of that though has to do with the fact that like this is the last chance for a lot of these players to get into the Capcom Cup, and when you might have that main, that main Balrog or that main Karen, but you have the pocket Abigail. You're like, you know what, my pocket Abigail may be better than my main Balrog because these guys don't know Abigail. Do you think that that's one of the reasons we saw a lot of DLC this weekend?
It definitely could be. I mean, as an ST player who used Cammy, that was my entire career of Super Turbo, was beating people with a character nobody ever practiced against because she's terrible in that game and nobody ever played her in Super Turbo. And so it's definitely a strategy. It's definitely a strategy. And in fact, I definitely believe that Cool Kid got a lot of those victories with Abigail from that.
Yeah, as we're watching Cool Kid have some struggles with 801 Strider right now. So last year we got a character announced at Red Bull Battlegrounds, and if we follow that logic and that train of thought, then we should maybe get a character announced today. I see a character who is I see two characters who are lacking in this game on your shirt right now.
Well, just one.
Oh, just one. Just Sagat. Is that the subliminal messaging? Is that the bold prediction?
I basically just kind of like, I'm rolling the dice. Like I want if they reveal it and there's a Sagat showing up, I want to be like, I knew it all along. Like I could totally just like pretend, but I we'll see what happens. I mean, there's a lot of rumors like Sagat or maybe Sakura, or I've heard like.
Yo, if it was Sakura, I think I would just be like, I would be Joy. I would basically be Joy. You would just like hear me from like 2 blocks
screaming,
over.
Yeah. But I mean,
I would be the other one that would lose my top.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see, because the thing about it is they did a really good job with some of the characters, not Cammy, but like with Dalsum and Zangief, and really changing them up, giving them new tools and kind of things like that, really changing them up. So I'm really curious if they do reveal Sagat or Sakura or somebody like that, to see if they actually are changed enough, what kind of cool things that they would give them. So.
All right, and switching games real quick. Battle of Stones is coming up.
Yes.
What do you think of the stones and how it gives you? It's not just I won the Power Stone and that means I'm in the tournament. It's I won the Power Stone and it does this, or I won the Viscount Stone. Like what do you think of that?
I mean, honestly, I like it. I like the idea of it because this is the first tournament that they're going to do with it. It's a short-term kind of thing. So, since it's kind of a short thing, might as well throw in some craziness in there, But obviously, if they keep going with it for next year, we would like to see a more, straight up Capcom Pro Tour kind of thing for Marvel Infinite. But right now, I think it's appropriate and I think it works out well. Some of the stones I feel like are a little more gimmicky than others, and but overall, I like the idea of it.
Do you like the community names that some of them have been given?
I don't know if I've heard some of them.
I was talking to Persia, and she was telling me that some of the stones had nicknames, and I've blinked on them so far, but I still love the Viscount Stone. Because it's, what is it? It's the Mind Stone that lets you... No, it's Reality Stone that lets you...
change buttons?
What's this? What stone lets you switch who you're facing in the bracket?
Oh, that one is the Time Stone.
Yeah, so Time Stone... So everyone's been... The joke in the community is that everyone's like, oh, I just... pick Viscount and play him and play him instead.
Oh, poor Jay. Oh no.
So, and also real quick, we have Dragon Ball FighterZ coming out soon. Are you an anime fan? Are you excited for?
I mean, look, I love Guilty Gear to death, right? It's basically one of my favorite fighting games of all time. ArcSys making Dragon Ball, the game is beautiful. I trust ArcSys to death. I have never seen a Dragon Ball episode in my life. So I do not have any...
And with that said, I think the interview...
Yeah, pretty much. And I actually don't know anything about Dragon Ball. So
How did you get? Because you're older than me. How did you get to your age, working in the fighting game community, and not have watched a single? You know Tasty Steve. How did you get to not seeing a single episode of Dragon Ball?
You know, it's interesting because, and again, I'm going to kill the interview again. I'm not an anime person. I don't watch anime. The only anime I've ever really watched is Miyazaki, and then my ex made me watch Titans, right? So, which I enjoy, Attack on Titan, and I enjoyed that one. But outside, I mean, seriously, that was probably the first anime series I'd ever seen. Like, I don't watch a lot of movies. I don't watch a lot of the TV shows. I don't know.
I think even the unfriend button might have to come out.
I know.
I'm just hurting. Every interview with you, you know, it's super amicable and it's laughs the whole time. I'm not laughing anymore.
Yeah, it's weird because I know gaming and anime are very tied together, and somehow I missed that. I'm not sure. I've always just been a gamer, so.
No, it's fine. All right.
Sure?
I mean, I just kind of have to accept it for what it is. Now, this is the last question, and it got a pretty positive response when I made Tasty Steve do it. So now I'm going to put you in the hot seat. You're not going to like this question.
Okay.
We kind of know the 30 players at the Capcom Cup. Right now, gun to your head, you have to tell me who's the top 8.
The top 8?
Yeah. Who's the top? Yeah. Look at your face right now. This is payback for what you said about anime.
Well, okay, I'm definitely going with Punk. Has got to be in there. I'm gonna go with Tokido. Punk and Tokido. I would probably say NuckleDo has a good chance in there as well. Man, I would almost want to say Problem X has a really good chance because Problem X has been playing on fire recently. I would put in NuckleDo in there. You said NuckleDo. No, I said NuckleDo already?
Yeah,
okay.
We're at Punk, NuckleDo, Problem X, and Tokido.
Okay. Fudo and Haitani are always solid choices because they've been so consistent, but I don't know if I'd put Haitani in there necessarily.
So we got solid 5.
Yeah, there's got to be a Kami in there, but there's not that many Kamis.
There's not many Kamis that are qualified.
Actually, Kazunoko might be a good one in there because Kazunoko, first place and second place in the 2 Capcom Cups, right? So I'm just gonna. I joked last year that it was gonna be called the Kaz Cup, you know, like after if you want to get, yeah.
Is that?
Like I wanna throw in that one underdog surprise player, but Mena RD would be a good one actually. All right, let's just throw in Mena RD as the wild card. And 8th, let's think here. Oh man. See, I wish I had the list in front of me so I can look at it.
This is the other painful part.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, unfortunately Nemo is not in there.
So he wins the last chess qualifier.
You mean at Capcom Cup? Yeah, I know, right? For number 8, I know I'm missing somebody super important, and I can't think of it.
Justin Wong.
Justin's been struggling in Street Fighter V this year. I'm gonna. Oh, you know what? I'm missing a Rashid player. That's
Oil King.
So Oil King or Moke. One of those two probably.
Is Goichi qualified?
Goichi, I believe, is in there, but Goichi's a Manat player.
I know, that's what I was going to say. I kind of want to see Manat. I just want more people to know that this character is good.
Dude, I want to see a lot. I love Manat, and I would love to see more Manat, but I know Manat is a struggle. So I would probably, I'm going to cop out, and 8 will be either Oil King or Moke for Rashid.
I'll allow it. So, James, actually, you know what? I do this with players, and you're in a unique position of somebody who's been doing their job for a very long time. Mm-hmm. What do you think has allowed you? So usually the question is to a pro, what has allowed you to stay dominant for so long? You know, when you're talking to someone like an Amada or a Snake Eyes, but you're a commentator who's been doing this for quite a while. What do you think what has kept your energy and investment in the FGC? And you've commentated so many games.
Right,
Like it's not like, oh man, I just do Street Fighters. Right. So what has allowed you to do all of this, to sort of be this like jack of all trades?
I mean, I've always told everybody who wants to be a commentator, and the secret really is just have fun and be really honestly passionate about it. If you are passionate about fighting game communities, about the fighting game community, about fighting games, when you commentate, it just comes out. You can't control it, and like you can't hide that. You know what I mean? It's just you're gonna bleed that passion. And I've been playing fighting games for over 2 decades now. Street Fighter's 30 years old, and that's counting from Street Fighter 1.
Yeah.
But like I've been playing since the original Street Fighter 2. I have an unbridled passion for this genre of games, and I just appreciate so much of how much skill it takes to play this game, and I love everything about it. I love the people, I love the stories, I love the games themselves. I basically am the guy who sits here and wants everyone to succeed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I've been in this for so long. So, that's what keeps me going, is that I genuinely, truly love this genre to death. And like, there's very little about it to me that I'm not doing this. There's very little that I can say that I'm doing it for, if not just the passion. You know what I mean? Just because I love it, that's the like 99.9% reason why I'm doing this, maybe 100%. Like I can't even think of another reason why I'd be doing this if it wasn't just for the fact that I love this so much.
All right. And where can everybody find you on the interwebs?
I'm on Twitter at twitter.com/Jchensor. I have my own Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Jchensor, where I stream all sorts of video games. Yep. I've been playing video games since I was like 4 or 5 years old, so that's been all of my life. So but then also you can find me on twitch.tv/UltraChenTV as well, where we do the Tuesday show every week, little wrap-ups of what happened in the fighting game community every week.
And you guys know you can find me on Twitter at SageGnosis. And until next time, remember that esports are real.